Oh, shit. Here we go again. Worst place in the world.
The Novo Nordisk company announcements page. I ain't seen nothing good here
In 5 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. And yesterday really did rhyme with December 20th, 2024, when Novo Nordisk released trial data from CagriSema which fell short of investor and market expectations. And we can see the stock price really taking a huge hit. And this is not the first time we as Novo Nordisk investors have been through this, but this is really one of those times where the market once again just has one hell of a reaction, and it's up to you as an investor to think about and to wonder whether these results do ruin the company's future earnings potential. So what happened was that CagriSema, Novo Nordisk future drug, fell short of weight loss percentage when compared to tirzepatide. So it says here CagriSema 2.4 milligram achieved the weight loss of 23% after 84 weeks compared to 25.5% with tirzepatide 1.5 milligrams. As viewers of my channel would likely know, Novo Nordisk is one of my biggest positions. Well, as of yesterday, it's actually my second biggest position here, trailing Palantir now after this huge decline in stock price. But as I've mentioned multiple times, I'm a long-term investor in Novo Nordisk, and I track 3 core value creation processes: their ability to scale their production capacity, their ability to expand the obesity market, and their ability to succeed on their pipeline. Now, these final two criteria seem to be what the market deems to be going out the window. So their ability to broaden the obesity market and their ability to succeed on their pipeline. Well, I'm here to tell you guys as investors that this result actually is not that bad, and that it does not hinder the company's future earning power. Now, in my previous Novo Nordisk video where I talked about one area where I was wrong, and I've been wrong with side effects meaning more than weight loss for the customer, well, this has proven itself to not be the case. Mike Dustar said that the total weight loss percentage matters more to consumers than side effects, than overall tolerability and other core issues addressed by the medicine, right? So this fundamentally just seems like a huge blow to Novo Nordisk's ability to create value, its ability to expand the market, its ability to succeed on its pipeline. Well, the truth is much more nuanced than that. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you why. And in today's video, I'm going to lay forward my case. I am still extremely bullish on the company while being down almost 60%, right? My investment is down almost 60% and I'm still bullish. I wish I had more money to buy Novo Nordisk. Now, this is not stock investment advice, right? You should know I have Novo Nordisk, so I might be biased. Basically, what you can derive from this video is that the total addressable market for Novo Nordisk is 2 billion people. They have around 40 million people under treatment right now, 3 million people on their obesity medicine, and the total addressable market is 1 billion people. So while we still are in a small market with a small percentage of the market being in treatment, we still have so much untapped potential. And that's what my previous video was about, and you can watch that by clicking right here. So as we can see right here, the issue is that CagriSema, Novo Nordisk's future drug, doesn't have higher weight loss efficacy than Eli Lilly's current drug. So why would uptake on CagriSema be better than Zepbound? Why would people choose CagriSema over Zepbound? That doesn't make sense. It has higher weight loss. And as per my previous video, that is what really does matter for the consumers, right? This drug must just be inferior, so they might as well not even go ahead with it, right? They might as well give up, leave the whole market to Eli Lilly and let them run everything. Well, that's not the case. The obesity market is immense. The obesity market is huge. And just because this is a lower percentage, it does not mean that the drug is useless. First of all, and I'll get into this later, but the dosage of CagriSema is just so much lower than the dosage of Eli Lilly's tirzepatide, 2.4% versus 15%. We've seen what happens to Wegovy to semaglutide when you up the dosage. It really does increase the weight loss percentage, which is why Novo Nordisk is awaiting the approval of their 7.2 milligram Wegovy, right? This alone is one thing in itself. Another thing in itself is that we as investors tend to treat the obesity market as if it were just one big pool of people with similar needs, with similar weight loss goals. Well, that is not the case. And Mike Dustar has something to say about this.
The truth about obesity is that we treat it as one group of people right now. We say 2 billion people have obesity. The unfortunate fact is that this is a multiple diseases with different needs, different types of people, and you have to have the product offering that caters for all, which is what my company is about to do.
So it is really about broadening the amount of treatments that are available to customers because customers have a very broad array of needs and treatments that need to be taken care of. You need to satisfy people's lifestyle choices. You need to satisfy their weight loss goals. So by having CagriSema available on the market, it just broadens the available treatments for each respective customer so that doctors and patients are able to take lifestyle choices into account. So this is something that has been my point for the longest time with Novo Nordisk. It is not only about weight loss. While Mike Dostar really does say that it is mostly about weight loss, I still do believe that a lot of people out there have different needs, that they have different ways they want to lose weight. And now also one thing with CagriSema is that it is an amylin. So the way that you lose weight on amylin is different than the way that you lose weight on semaglutide. And I'll just get into that now. So the way that you lose weight on semaglutide is that you just all around don't have any hunger. So you eat while you're not having any appetite, right? But with amylin, the difference is that you get satiated earlier. So you get full earlier while you still have appetite, while you still want to eat, while you still want to drink and enjoy the wine, the cheeses, right? All these things, you can still do these things with amylin, but you can't do these things with semaglutide. So that might be one lifestyle choice that satisfies one end of the customers, while another end of the customers just don't want to feel any hunger or appetite. So that's the thing, right? It is all about meeting and satisfying different lifestyle needs, different lifestyle choices. So yeah, sure, while CagriSema has a lower weight loss percentage than tirzepatide, it satisfies other customer needs. So Novo Nordisk, basically what they're doing is that they're broadening the market, increasing the amount of choice that customers get, that consumers get when they want to get on GLP-1s, when they want to get on weight loss medicine. So I'll play you a clip right now of Mike Dostar saying this.
CagriSema in obesity will allow us to further build upon the Wegovy brand, where we aim to provide patients with multiple treatment options to fit their weight loss and lifestyle needs. Not only does CagriSema provide patients the efficacy, safety, and health benefits clinically proven by semaglutide, including established evidence-based risk reductions across certain cardiovascular, renal, and liver diseases, but it also improves weight loss with the added benefits of amylin.
So yeah, going back to the first video I showed you with Mike Dostar, weight loss is not just one thing. It is a billion people and a billion different respective needs. So having more medicines available on the market really does just satisfy all these different needs. So this is what I mean with the second value creation process for Novo Nordisk, broadening the market for obesity drugs. And this is twofold. Meeting more people, which means satiating more demand, meeting more demand in the market, and they're able to do this now that they've lowered prices. We saw this in the previous video I made on Novo Nordisk, just becoming available for so many more patients out there. Second, broadening the choices of medicines available, because weight loss is an individual thing. It's a thing that has to live up to people's lifestyle choices. And another one that people seem to think is deteriorating is Novo Nordisk's abilities to succeed on their pipeline. So what they're doing here basically is that this trial could be sort of misleading. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that this trial is misleading. Don't get me wrong. The weight loss results, as per the trial, are lower percentage-wise than Eli Lilly's drug, and therefore the market gets disappointed. That's sure, and I'm fine with that. I can understand that. But we're measuring based on two completely different pillars. We're measuring Novo Nordisk on 2.4 milligrams, and we're measuring Eli Lilly on 15 milligrams. I spoke about this in my previous video. I'll now play you a clip from Mike Dostar talking about this.
We also have said inside CagriSema that you have seen in all of these trials, including the Redefine 11, there's only 2.4 milligram of semaglutide. We are starting a trial soon with 7.2 milligram semaglutide in that. And then basically you will see that, the life cycle management of CagriSema will pan itself as it is. So that's all on the injectables, has nothing.
For their next trial for CagriSema, which is Redefine 11, they'll take these things into account. They'll learn from Redefine 1. They'll change the ways that their trials are run. So basically now you could opt out of trials. You could leave. They were flexible. You could leave when you wanted to. And this means that a lot of people didn't achieve their full weight loss potential. And finally, Here's another clip of Mike Dustar just talking about the potential of Novo Nordisk with 7.2 milligram CagriSema.
That we are designing the CagriSema with a higher dosages of it. So, and you have seen what happens to semaglutide when it goes from 2.4 to 7.2, and you could do your own modeling what that means. So I'm still incredibly.
And as regarding to these models that Mike mentioned, it later gets mentioned in this call that they have a higher weight loss percentage than the 23% in Novo Nordisk internal modelings, right? So based off this trial, what have we learned? We have learned that the final results in REDEFINE 11, which will come out in the beginning of next year, will likely be more indicative of the medicine's efficacy, right? It'll be more indicative. What we have right now is just prior phases in prior trials where REDEFINE 11 will be the end all be all. But I'm not saying that when they do this and their result is lower than Lilly's still, if it is the case, I'm not saying that it's over, and I've been saying it's not over. It has been one of the main themes of my channel. Just because Novo Nordisk has a lower weight loss percentage, it does not mean that it's over. In that case, all the other companies that still have medicines in their trial phases might as well just scrap it. There's no money to be made. There's no money to be made in the obesity market. Right? So that logic does not hold. That does not hold with me, at least, right? And another thing, when it comes to meeting all these different needs, when it comes to meeting all these different lifestyle choices, Novo Nordisk has another interesting drug in their pipeline. And I'll play you this clip now by Mike Dustar explaining this drug.
Next generation GLP-1, Amylin, Zenagamtide, where we saw up to 24% weight loss after just 36 weeks in phase 2. This product will be available to patients both in forms of injection as well as oral offering.
So Zenagamtide really does show incredibly high weight loss on a low time frame. 36 weeks. And you lose 24% of your weight. So these 25.5% of your weight that you lose on Zepbound is on 84 weeks. Imagine the potential of this sort of medicine being able to lose this much weight in this short of a time frame. This is the perfect Hollywood drug. If you want, this is just perfect for retail. You can lose a lot of weight in a short time frame. You can lose more than 20% of your weight in such a short time frame, just a bit more than half of a year, right? So this is just so much. There's just so much potential in Novo Nordisk's pipeline that is just not being priced into the company. Novo Nordisk is being priced in such a ridiculous way right now. And this is just the market being so short-term focused. And I want to measure the company on how it performs over the long term. If the stock price falls because I actually and honestly see a deterioration to their core value creation processes, I will sell. And I won't have an issue coming on here saying that I've been wrong. But for now, I just do not see deterioration. I see short-term headwinds, and I've explained this. I'm seeing one result that isn't fully indicative of the weight loss medicine. Now, and why the Novo Nordisk management hasn't designed this trial to be fully indicative is beyond me. I truly cannot explain why. That is one big mess up. That is the company just messing up. But at the end of the day, we'll fully know about the efficacy of the drug when the REDEFINE 11 results get out. This is also Novo Nordisk succeeding on their pipeline. They have another drug in their pipeline that produces 19.7% weight loss after 24 weeks. 19.7% weight loss after 24 weeks. That is less than half a year. You can lose 20% of your weight in less than half a year. This is the perfect Hollywood drug. This is the perfect drug for retail. This is the perfect drug for people who just want to lose weight in a short amount of time. And this isn't being priced in. The company's stock price does not reflect the company's fundamental developments. It reflects the short-term sentiments surrounding the company. This is not priced into the company. All the upside is not priced into the company. And that's why I'm not worried about Novo Nordisk in the long term. And obviously, a phase 2 trial is difficult in terms of pricing in the company and pricing into how much value it will create. But just going back to that first clip I showed you of Mike Dustar talking about the weight loss market being 1 billion people and 1 billion different needs to be addressed. This sure does address a lot of people's needs. I can assure you of that. Now, and that is why I am not worried about Novo Nordisk in the long term. These are short-term headwinds, and we will recover. I'm not saying the stock price will recover. What I'm saying is that the company in the future will make a lot more money than it is making now. It'll make substantially more money than it is now. That is what I measure the company on, these three value creation processes and how it leads to the company increasing the amount of money it makes distributable to investors. And one other thing is that their share repurchase program just becomes so much more effective at these prices, buying 1.5 billion kroner worth of stock. This is immense. This is very good news. This really does remove a lot of the float that's available right now, right? For Novo Nordisk investors and people interested in investing at Novo Nordisk, my opinion is that there is no deterioration to the company's long-term prospects. It's succeeding in terms of broadening the weight loss market, so making it more broad, both in terms of meeting people's needs when it comes to medicine and just addressing more patients, and they're succeeding on success with their pipeline. What we've seen with these trial data is not a deterioration. What we've seen is a very good drug that has high efficacy, that has a good side effect profile, that addresses other health issues. That's it for me today. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.